As they now rear two children, June, age 3.5, with normal vision, and Hank, who is visually impaired and learning in the Lighthouse's Bright Beginnings program for babies who are blind or visually impaired. Sean will lead off, and Lindsay will wrap up.
Thank you, Wendy. Appreciate that. Good evening, all. How you doing? Thank you very much for having us. We jumped at the opportunity to come here tonight and speak to all of you. First, to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the contributions you give to this great organization. Because of you, that Lighthouse of Broward is able to continue to help so many children and adults and families all over the county. Thank you. Second, we wanted to share our story about how the Lighthouse has helped our family for generations now. I have two cousins who were born with congenital blindness. Paul's about my age and Ryan's several years younger. I say cousins, really it's more like brothers. We grew up real close together, in fact, under the same roof for many years. From an early age, they worked with the Lighthouse, learning not only basic life skills, cooking and the like, but also learning about tools and technology to assist them. But perhaps more than anything else, they gave them a sense of community, a sense of confidence that instilled in them for the rest of their lives. I'm happy to say that Paul went on to graduate from Temple Law School and is now a paralegal specialist in Washington, D.C. His younger brother, Ryan, give it up for Paul. He's good to see you. His younger brother, Ryan, spent several years at the summer camp at the Lighthouse. He took courses, he went on to volunteer there for years. And in fact, after completing their college transition program, I'm happy to say he's now attending BC right here, Broward College, South Florida. Now, there's no doubt in my mind that part of their success is due to organizations like the Lighthouse of Broward. So once again, on their behalf, thank you so much for all you do. And at this point, I'm going to hand it over to my lovely fiance, Lindsay.
Okay, so as Sean mentioned, it's very rare to have two siblings who have that kind of visual impairment. What made our story so interesting happened in December of 2014 when we had our second child, Hank, or as we call him, Mr. Hank. A few weeks after he was born, we noticed that he wasn't making eye contact or tracking items. So we brought him to the doctor, who referred us to an ophthalmologist, and it was the ophthalmologist who told us they believed he was completely blind with no light perception. So that was, as you can imagine, very devastating. But because of our history with the Lighthouse and Sean's family, we were armed with knowledge, contacts, information, and we immediately began our relationship with them. Hank was 3 months old when he started receiving service from the Lighthouse. He's now 10 months today. Miss Cindy comes every week and she works with him on reaching his milestones and has different sensory activities that she does with him to make sure that he doesn't fall into the pitfalls that some visually impaired children experience. So we're very grateful for that. In addition to those services, we also have really felt, like Sean mentioned, a sense of community. They have the seasonal festivals where we are able to meet with other people that are in similar positions as we are. And you know, we're just eternally grateful for all of it, to be a part of it. And I know that the Lighthouse of Broward will be there for Hank as long as he needs it, just like they were there for Sean's cousins. And through their success, I know that my son will also be a happy and successful man, and I really have no concerns for him. And I think a part of that is because of the service that he receives from the Lighthouse of Broward, and all of you, because you guys all make it possible, and I'm just really thankful. Thank you so much.
James Nurse.